Hi, this is Catherine. This is Taking Tea with Catherine. This is a nice green tea called, I think it's called Granny Green Apple Tea, which is exactly what it is. And yeah, it's time for some green tea. What can I say? In a red cup. You know, we like being a little bit contrary here. So I'm going to do a tag today. I've seen this tag floating around for some weeks now and thought it sounds like a great tag. Just didn't get around to it because I was actually kind of slow on doing videos lately. Then I got tagged myself by Marilyn Maya Mendoza, the baby boomer booktuber, great channel. So traffic agrees with me. It's a great channel. So I thought, you know what, it's time to do it. Let's do this. And yes, the tag is called Your Answer Can't Be Books Tag. And the original is from BookTubers, which is a very enthusiastic channel, which is always good, you know. So let's get into the questions. Some of these are going to be so obvious for me. One is, what is something that you own way too many of other than books? Well, not cats, even though I own 2. I still don't think that's a lot. When I had 3 cats, I think that was a lot. But really, let's face it, tea and tea-related objects is the big thing. Is it a problem? I wouldn't call it a problem, except for, you know, getting space for my my tea paraphernalia. Let's say that 10 times fast. But here's the thing. I've been doing this for years. I think since the mid-90s, I've been collecting teapots, teacups, cups and saucers, mugs, you name it. And I also, let's see, teas themselves. So now the other things is, it's not a big deal. If you have a lot of teapots, you just have to make space for it. Yeah, I know that's annoying when you don't have much space left, but you could do it. But teas, they don't usually rot per se, but they get a little bit less fresh. So this one, for instance, I've had for some time, and it's not quite as good as it used to be when I bought it new. I mean, it's still not bad, but it's not like this. Woo, you know? So this is a problem because last year I was home a lot, and obviously, which meant I could use not only my pretty tea things, which I had to kind of make up for not being able to go to some of my favorite tea places, but also I had a chance to drink tea at home every day. So though I usually wake up with a typical kind of breakfast tea, in the afternoon I have a choice of a green tea, a white tea, something that's caffeinated, but I have a little more energy to prepare a loose tea or something. So that's usually what I do in the afternoon. I've done the breakfast tea in the afternoon occasionally when I'm just in the mood for it, but for the most part I can try any kind of a black tea blend that is not a breakfast tea, for instance. Darjeeling, you know? So it was pretty good, and especially because over the years I bought tea anyway, and you know, when I was in the office full time, I didn't really get a chance to make a lot of those caffeinated teas during the week, and on the weekend I can make them, but not all the time, because I go out sometimes on the weekends. You know, you have things going on in your life, right? So I would have to hesitate before I bought things, and then suddenly I didn't have to hesitate as much because I was home more. I could drink all these teas, and then the herbal teas I would drink at night anyway, but usually just 1 cup tops at night. So it was going at an even pace, and that was good. Now that I'm starting to go back to the office a little more regularly, a little more often, and I have 1 or 2 teas in the office, you know, this is going to be maybe a little bit of a problem. Not a nightmarish problem, but as far as teas are concerned, I have to start curtailing my purchases just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, way too many, way too much of, etc. Okay. So the second question is, what is something that you do for fun that's not reading a book? Well, I really should have closed the window today, because that's not fun. Well, I don't know. It was really hard to think about this one, because my social life has quite changed. I was never really the biggest party person ever, but I had a bit more of a social life before COVID, and now almost nothing. So for fun, I was like, what do I still do though? And that sounds pathetic, but taking walks makes sense to a point. It's not just for exercise or to get places. I do take walks for enjoyment, but I thought that kind of sounded a little too, I don't know, sad. I don't know, but so I don't know. Well, I do take walks to go to places that are cool, but unfortunately, a lot of those are bookshops, so it becomes an answer that is book related. But like going to the park, I'll sit in the park with a book. I'll go to the Central Park, for instance, sit there with a book, leave the park, and go to a bookshop. So yeah, this is where it leads to. However, a thing that I like to do that I don't think has anything to do with books or much to do with reading either is singing. And I'm not a great singer, but you don't have to be a great singer to enjoy singing. I've always enjoyed singing and am just an average to okay singer. But it's great. It's a great feeling. The only problem is that occasionally, because I live in an apartment building, if I sing loud enough, I've had people join in, and it feels a little awkward. Had a little bit of a duet one time when I was singing a certain Queen song. But anyway, okay, the next question is, what is something special or important on your nightstand that's not a book? I have a clock. Used to use it as an alarm clock, but not anymore. It's old. It's a clock radio that I bought many years ago that I use sometimes. It's like an actual radio, though. Otherwise, at night, my glasses, I guess. That's quite important. I know I read with my glasses, but I do pretty much all seeing with them, so it's not book related, right? I think that's pretty much it. I usually don't keep anything else on. I'm not a nightstand person, And honestly, I don't really have books that I can think of on my nightstand, really, to read, because I don't usually read in bed, so there you go. The next question is, what's something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? Well, this is actually an interesting one, because I've gone through phases of my life, either where I wasn't reading a lot, or I wasn't buying a lot of books, or, most of the books I was acquiring was from the library, and that's something I continue to encourage, But I still liked going to bookshops, and I didn't like constantly visiting a bookshop and not buying things. So, magazines are not books, right? Technically, right? They are reading material, but they're not books. So I have bought magazines at bookshops, especially Barnes & Noble, for many years. Actually, Barnes & Noble is one of the few places I know of now. If you don't live in the United States, and you probably know this anyway, but still, Barnes & Noble is the main big book selling chain in the United States. There are other ones, but since Borders is gone, I think it's still the biggest one that you'll find almost anywhere in the United States if you drive a bit, I think. Anyway, there used to be a lot more in New York where I live, but there still are comparatively, there's still quite a lot of them, but not as many as there used to be. Anyway, but used to be when you would take walks in any neighborhood, there were plenty of newsstand type magazine places that you could buy all kinds of magazines, and now there's the occasional place, and it's usually not that good, and sometimes a little bit creepy. So Barnes & Noble is the place to go for magazines. And although some of the magazines I buy are bookish, I also buy a number of different kinds of history magazines, and when I wasn't subscribing to it, I got the Tea Time magazine, Victoria magazine, stuff like that. It's pretty good, I think. And also bags, handbags, tote bags, stuff like that, backpacks even. I've bought at bookshops. They sell quite a few of them. I guess they make ones that you can carry books in, but you can use it for tons of other things. I still talk about books no matter what I do, right? I can't help it. But there used to be, talking about Borders, the other chain that I miss quite a lot, they used to carry a line of stationery and things from Paper Chase, which is, I think a British chain of stationery. I know I saw them in England, so I'm assuming that it's British, but I could be wrong. But we didn't have Paper Chase shops in the United States that I know of. So they kept a line of things from Paperchase in Borders, and I used to love that. So I used to go to Borders. I used to get these great coupons, and once in a while I'd buy things like books, but most of the time I will do. I would do like buying some kind of cute bag. I have some of them still, and of course stationery, which is wonderful. I'm still a letter writer, and I think there's other things I buy too. Oh well, hello. Not this one. I think I got this in Anthropology, but I've bought a number of tea related items in bookshops because they sell them, and other drinking paraphernalia. I said paraphernalia again. I can barely even say it. I'm forgetting things. Yeah, pens, fountain pens, rollerball pens, pencils. I bought. They're fantastic. I have bought also music. I don't do that too often anymore, but like DVDs, CDs. Used to buy that quite a lot at bookshops. So yeah. Did I mention socks? Yes. I love buying socks at bookshops. It sounds so silly, and it would be for, someone who's like, oh, you should go to bookshops to buy books. And I'm like, yes, but then you could bring people with you if you want to do something socially, or you could get gifts for people at a bookshop that is not a book. And that's fantastic. If you get a gift card for someone who's not a reader, and I've mentioned this before, I think, and they say, oh, now I gotta go to a bookshop, and they go in and they see other things that are not books. They see socks, and they see bags, and they see cups, mugs, whatever. And they say, well, that's actually a great thing. I mean, I was gonna say like journals, blank books, but those are technically books, so that would be books. But then, yeah, someone might actually just go in for one of those things, and maybe they'll see a book that sounds interesting, and maybe they'll buy a book. And maybe they'll become a book person. So, yeah. I think these bookshops know what they're doing. Usually. Not always. Okay. Next question is, what's a fun gift that you've received that wasn't a book or a gift card for books? Well, yeah, I know, right? How about a gift card that was just a general gift card that you could use to buy books? But no, I'm not going to cheat. Trying to think, what have I got? I have gotten a number of good gifts over the years, and I can't think of every single one right now. But I will talk about one I got like 20 years ago. And it goes a little bit with one of the things I like to do for fun, which is when my family got me around about the time that I lost a job. And I was thinking, oh no, what am I going to do? I don't have a job. It was a great time, by the way, to not have a job in Manhattan. Because it was the summer of 2001. And yeah, it was really a good time a few months later to be unemployed. Let's just say that. But let's not keep going into that, and we'll hear enough about that this week, I am pretty sure. But my family, I think, felt a little bad for me, and they knew that I liked to sing, and they bought me a karaoke machine. I think, looking around to the area where I keep a lot of junk, I think I still have it. I don't think it works anymore, I'm not sure, but I think I still have it, because I think it also was useful as a CD player, too. And it had like a microphone. It was the kind that you can connect to the television, and so the lyrics could come on, but you had to get the special CDs for that. Now they have these digital ones that are all kinds of easy stuff. But back then, it was still not quite there yet, and that's okay, because I had actually a lot of those karaoke CDs anyway. I had bought them in this record store near Times Square, and I was good to go. So all I needed was a karaoke machine, and they got that for me. It was one of the biggest pick-me-up, cheer-ups ever in my life, honestly. So yes, that's like 20 years later, and I still think of that wonderful gift. Okay. Let's see. What's a YouTube channel that you watch that's not related to books? I actually watch quite a few. Did I say YouTube channel or BookTube channel? YouTube channel. As you might know if you watch this channel long enough, I am quite a cat person, so I've watched a number of cat videos. But someone forwarded me a link to a channel of I think a golden retriever named Tucker, which is a really cute channel, and it's just about the life of this golden retriever with all these like not lyrics, but like what it's thinking or whatever, what it's saying, which is really cute. So I watch like dog related videos, obviously tea related videos. I would say history related videos too, but sometimes that could be sometimes book adjacent. So it's kind of hard to say that. I watch all kinds of silly stuff like Hizzy, How It Should Have Ended, where they'll talk about films and how it should have ended. And usually if it has anything to do with like the superhero movies, where it's it could be MCU or DC, at the end they'll have some of the characters from the movie in this coffee shop talking to Superman and Batman. And if you haven't seen it, Batman always manages to say, because I'm Batman. And I think that, I don't know why, I just think that's really funny. And then they started not just having like the superhero coffee shop, but then they had like the villains pub with all kinds of bad guys from all times. And then they have this other one, there's like the anti-hero something or other. I don't know. I just think it's hilarious and well done, and a lot of work done by the animators to make it very funny. So I like things like that. I like cinema sins, related stuff like that, honest trailers. There's a lot of other things that I will watch, clips about TV shows, whatever. I mean, yes, I should mention for fun, I also watch some TV. But yeah, so there's plenty of YouTube channels. I don't usually watch beauty related channels on my own, but I hear they're good. So yeah, occasionally I'll watch things when I need to learn how to do something. If I get a product and the instruction manual isn't good, you usually find instructions on YouTube about how to use that product, which is great. Thank you for all the people who make that kind of content. We need that sort of thing. So yeah, if the answer can't be books tag had some kind of like penalty for even talk about books at all, mentioning books at all, I would have failed miserably. Like that taboo game, that thing would have come through. But I had fun anyway, talking about myself. The last question or prompt, whatever, is to tag other people. But I have to say, I have seen this running around BookTube quite a lot now. So I don't think I might double up by accident. So I'm going to say again, if you watch this channel and you've seen this around and you say, well, I kind of want to do this tag and I wish Catherine would have tagged me, I tag you. Okay. So thank you for tagging me, Marilyn. I don't know if you go by Marilyn Maya. Anyway, I'm so bad at remembering these things. I'm bad with names, but I'm happy with people. So the chimes are telling me it's time to go. So for now, this is Catherine. We're taking tea with Catherine. Have a lovely tea and something else filled day. Bye.